Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I am back with Chonny Jash, and this song is called Not Perfect, and my understanding is that it's basically a cover of a Tim Minchin song. I have not done this Tim Minchin song on my channel, so I probably should, and I usually go over the lyrics with the original artist, so we probably won't do that here. We'll see if there's closed captioning for the lyrics, or if I can understand them enough I might talk about them during the music video. It's fairly long. I think it's over 10 minutes by itself, so that's probably sufficient for you to be looking at my ugly face anyway. So I'm interested in hearing this. Love Tim Minchin, and Chonny Jash has been incredible in a completely different way, or mostly different way, so this should be good. Just before we jump into the music, if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, that will help. I'll put a link to Chonny in the description too, so you can go and subscribe there and like videos, all those fun things. Also, you can bump up your request if you want. That information is in my description too. You can see how to do that there and support the channel even more. Okay, let's get started.
This is my song.
Oh, maybe there
Or
are.
at least part of it. It's 1/3 mine and 2/3 not. It's written by a red-headed man, far more talented than I am. I'm frankly not quite sure I have the right, but the one thing I can say for sure is that every rhyme and every chord prevents my end by just one step more. So it's not my song.
It's very quiet. I'm not quite sure whether it's going to get really loud later, and that'll be a problem. I'm going to turn it up a bit more and start back. It's very quiet, but we can see the lyrics here. So he sort of acknowledged that it's 1/3 his, 2/3 a red-headed man, Tim Minchin, and isn't sure whether he has the right, but Tim seems to be pretty open to people sharing his music, and so I don't know the story, but I imagine that he's fine. But let's start over again.
It's 1/3 mine and 2/3 not. It's written by a red-headed man, far more talented than I am. I'm frankly not quite sure I have the right, but the one thing I can say for sure is that every rhyme and every chord prevents my end by just one step more. So it's not my song, but that's fine. I promise that I won't take up too much of your time. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect.
So if that is Chonny Jash, this is the closest I've come to actually seeing what this person looks like, as much as we can see here. Keyboarding good. Sound difficult to hear sometimes. Kind of goes up and down a little bit. I do like the voice. The voice is fine. And the viewer that sent me this request said that there was no pitch alteration in this one. So that's interesting, because I really do like to hear a person's real voice. I don't care, to be honest, whether they have perfect pitch or perfect anything. There's no such thing as perfect anyway, but people do say that sometimes, because often people who are supposedly technically great are not necessarily my favorite singers anyways. So I really do like to hear the real voice. Says you're not going to waste our time. I don't think he'll be wasting our time, but it is 9 minutes 22 seconds, so it's a long one. All right, let's go.
This is my earth, and I live in it. It's 1/3 dirt and 2/3 water, and it rotates and revolves through space at rather an impressive pace, and never even messes up my hair. And here's the really...
That will, of course, get flat earthers moving and arguing, yes, see, it's flat Earth, it's flat Earth. It's not possible for us to be rotating and moving through space at such speeds because I don't feel it. That's one of the many arguments from them. Please don't believe in all of that. Now we can sort of see them even better. That's perfect, and I really do like the voice so far.
An impressive pace, never even messes up my hair. And here's the really weird thing: the force created by its spin is the force that stops the chaos flooding in. This is my Earth, and it's fine. It's where I spend the vast majority of my time. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect.
I like that.
This is my house, and I live in it. It's made of cracks and photographs. We rent it from a guy who bought it from a guy who bought it from a guy whose granddad left it to him. And the weirdest thing is that this house has locks to keep the bad guys out, but they're mostly used to lock ourselves in. This is my house, and it's fine. It's where I spend the vast majority of my time. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect, but it's
The music through, especially this last section and still going on now, is that definitely recognize the Chonny Jash sound in terms of the instrumental part of it. Yeah, the lyrics are great. They're primarily Tim Minchin's. I think that Chonny wrote a couple of verses or something too, but yeah, it's awesome. It's our planet, it's our Earth. It's not perfect, but it's the one we have, so we better figure it out. And then relating to the house as well. And I think that this is probably relating to other pieces. But let's keep going. Pieces of
this is my body, and I live in it. It's 22 and 6 months old. It's changed a lot since it was new. It's done things it wasn't built to do. I've often tried to alter its design.
Interesting.
And the weirdest thing about it's not perfect.
Yeah, I think a lot of us spend at least some time picking on our body, looking at ourselves and saying, yuck. I'd like to change that. Doesn't get much better as you get older, let me tell you. There are things that you wish you could change. And sometimes when you look back at some old photographs or things, you think, I hated it then, but I wish I looked like that now. But, but it is what it is, right? Just like everything else, I think we have to learn to accept ourselves a little bit.
Perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect. This is my brain, and I live in it.
Ooh, sweet.
It's made of
Sweet sound.
love and bad song lyrics. It's tucked away behind my eyes, where all my fucked up thoughts can hide. It's God forbid I hurt somebody. And the weirdest thing about a mind is that every answer that you find is the basis of a brand new cliche. This is my...
You can really hear Tim Minchin here. I mean, it's just his sense of humor and whatnot. And I don't know which parts Chonny put in. And it must match up pretty well because so far it all seems to go together really nicely. So I'll give credit to him too for both of them writing this song, I guess, or parts of it at least, 1/3 and 2/3, or however the fraction breaks up. But yeah, it's really very humorous. It's talking about some serious things too, and that's often the case with Tim Minchin as well. And of course, Chonny has talked about heart, mind, and soul before, and feelings and thoughts, emotions, and how we cope with them, and all of that. Yeah, we can have some pretty crazy thoughts up here, murderous thoughts even, and things that scare us. It can be quite scary what goes on in your brain sometimes, and apparently not everybody has it, from people I've talked to, but but I certainly have in the past, and it used to scare me when I was younger. As you get older, well, with any luck, you learn how to cope, you learn how to handle some of these things, and I never have hurt anybody, but sometimes I wonder there when he was talking about, in the way he said somebody, he didn't say somebody, he said somebody, so it could be your own body. I think maybe that was why the stress was like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I thought when he said that.
Every answer that you find basis of a brand new cliche. This is my brain, and it's fine. It's where I spend the vast majority of my time. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect. I'm not quite sure I've worked out how to work it. It's not perfect, but it's mine. This is my spirit, and I'm stuck in it. It's made of pain, regret, and shame, but the mechanisms laid inside still in me. What's wrong and right? Without it, by now I'm sure I would have died. And the weirdest thing about it is I'm not quite sure that it exists, yet I still obsess
hard to hear this part for me. Could just be my old age, but talking about soul and not even sure it exists. Yes, of course, there's a lot of debate amongst a lot of people whether or not there is really such a thing as a soul, or whether really it's just another part of our mind. My belief is it is another part of our brain or our mind, whatever you want to call it. Brain mind is the same thing for me too. It's not separate, really. I mean, you can get very pedantic about it, but for me, it's mostly the same. Yeah, but colloquially, it's great to talk about them separately, the heart and the soul and those things, because we're so accustomed to it, and it's a way of talking about them because they certainly feel differently when we think about them.
If I'm lucky, it will be with me for the rest of my life. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's not perfect.
Nice piano finish. I believe that's it. I don't want the ads to pop up. Go back, go back. Okay, well, we can see him there more or less. Chonny Jash, not perfect. Primarily Tim Minchin's song, but some verses I think by Chonny. I think the one about the soul, and I'm not sure if there was another one in there or not. I haven't heard Tim Minchin do this song. I should probably do it and go over the lyrics separately, although the lyrics came up here, so that was very helpful. Yeah, excellent, really excellent lyrics, sense of humor, but also talking about things that many people deal with in terms of how they look at themselves, their body, their brain or their mind, and their soul, and the earth, your house, which it could be representative of those things as well. But they're not perfect, but they're mine, and they're okay. We can learn to live with them. Yeah, very good. The music sounded like Chonny Jash. I don't really know what to say about it because I'm not even sure what they're using. Some of it sounds sort of organ-like to me, which is actually my least favorite instrument probably. But it sounded good here. It sounded good, and it suited the song the way that Chonny did it. So that was good, and I like to hear his voice, and yeah, it was very well done. Really good. Thank you very much for this request. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of meaning in it, but there's some humor there too. And I think you need a sense of humor to get through this life. It can be pretty tough. So try to keep your sense of humor and try not to take yourself too seriously. You know what? Because other people, apart from maybe grade school or something, or idiots, they're not judging your body the way you think they are. They're not judging a lot of things the way you think they are. We're usually tougher on ourselves than anyone else. Of course, there's the odd person that's just a what. But for the most part, they don't see you the way you see you. They just don't. They don't get it. And sometimes maybe you've even talked to somebody about, oh, this doesn't look right, or this doesn't, and they just look at you like, what are you talking about? They just don't get it. They don't see it at all. All right, I'm going to leave it there for now. Let me know what else you would like to hear from Chonny Jash or anyone else. I hope the sound worked here, because sometimes when I turn the music up, then my voice doesn't show, and because this one started so quietly, I turned it up and then I had to turn it down. So, but at any rate, let me know what else you'd like to hear. Check in the description if you want to bump up your requests. The regular list is quite long. I'm still adding to it, and I will get there, but some of them are going to take quite some time, so you can use that other method if you want to. Like the video if you did. I hope you did. Give it a thumbs up and hit that notification bell, all those fun things. In the meantime, keep listening, keep having fun. It's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Bye bye for now.